Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Nerd Shit News. How's everyone doing today?
Yeah, great.
You know, I'm a glutton for punishment because I decided to watch not one but 2 episodes of How I Met Your Father. Listen, I love How I Met Your Mother.
Oh.
This new one is so unfunny. Like I'm just sitting back there watching it, just completely stone faced. Like,
thank you for taking that bullet for us. Honey.
Yeah.
There's a special place.
Is this a comedy? Is this a sitcom? Like,
the pilot is so I don't know. It just feels aloof and there's no feeling to it. My favorite part was when it said in loving memory of Bob Saget.
Yeah, that was pretty much. That was the best part. Yeah.
That makes me sad.
At least someone has a heart in this production at some point.
They just don't have a funny bone.
I am Troy Hensley. With us we have Sharon and Zach and Sam. What's everybody feeling about Percy Jackson getting their own TV series on Disney Plus?
I've been hearing rumblings about this where I think it was announced that Disney was developing something or was workshopping something. And then Rick Riordan on his Instagram basically did a... Rick Riordan is the author of Percy Jackson. He basically did a video basically announcing, yes, it is official. We are doing it with Disney. And he's really... Like, Rick Riordan is really excited and really enthused about it, which gives me some hope because I don't know if you've read about the fact that Rick Riordan really distanced himself from the movies and basically disowned the movies.
Oh, wow.
Which I like the movies, but I also watched the movies before I read the books, and having read the books, I still appreciate them as separate things, but I'm like, okay, I understand why this would upset book fans. Again, I'm in the position of I like the books for what they are, I like the movies for what they are. The books are better, like they are, but, you know.
One thing I will say is, first of all, I think it's pronounced Riordan.
Oh, okay.
I think, you know, hey, Rick, if you're out there, let me know, okay?
Come on this podcast. We want to talk to you.
Hey, totally. Yes, come on our podcast. No, but I read all the books because I'm, you know, despite the fact that I'm years old, I love reading young adult and teen books, and I loved this series. I read all of them. I was really excited when the movies came out, and then when I saw them, I was like, okay. No, I'm kind of like Sam. I didn't dislike the movies. I did not understand why the main character went from 12 years old to like 37. I just could not understand that. I could not understand it. And I mean, and then when the second one came out, I was sitting there thinking, oh my God, if they're going to do all the books, these people are going to be like geriatric by the time we get done here, you know? It's like,
you know what's funny is Logan Lerman, who played Percy Jackson, he was recently interviewed basically saying, are they ever going to make that third Percy Jackson movie? He basically said that he had that same response, like, what, do you want a geriatric Percy Jackson? Like, exactly. He basically said, I've aged out of that role. I aged out of that role years ago, is basically what he said.
He aged out of that role He aged out of that role the second he stepped on set, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, they were too old. I understand what they were doing, that they were trying to, you know, appeal to a different audience. They didn't want to make a kids movie like Harry Potter, you know? But that's what the story calls for, and that's what they should have done. And so I'm really excited that they're going to be going this route.
I think that's why when we talk about Harry Potter, we don't talk about Percy Jackson, though. I mean, let's be honest. They didn't do it right. They didn't execute it correctly. Whenever you have something like that, I'm not a purist. I never will be a purist. There are books that I would love to turn into a movie, and they will not be exactly like the book because there are some things in the books that I don't like. It's the business. We need to be able to express ourselves creatively. But I will say, They fucked those movies up. They were entertaining. I enjoyed the popcorn while I watched them, but they fucked those movies up.
That's pretty much what those movies are. Those movies are just mindless popcorn entertainment. You just sit back, and that's what they are. Like, I enjoy them, but that's completely what they are, you know?
Yeah.
I'm excited about the show.
Yeah,
Go
me
ahead.
too. I was just it made me think of Ready Player One, which is if you read the book and then you watch the movie, they are so different, but I enjoy both of them for what they are. And I understand that the book you just could not translate the things everything that happened in the book into a movie. It would have been boring and, it wouldn't have been good. It was great on the page. It read fantastic, but visually, when you turn it into a visual medium, it's a whole different animal. So I'm just excited because I've been disappointed by any Disney Plus show so far, and so
I agree. It's coming out to be really amazing what they're doing with Disney Plus. Much better than this Disney Channel.
Yeah. Well, and because it's Disney, that they're gonna put enough money behind it because Disney has so much money to put behind these projects. It's gonna have good production qualities too, because like all the Disney shows have had good production.
We've come
qualities.
to expect that,
Yeah, for sure. Like it's not gonna be cheesy, like that late '90s Animorphs TV show or something like that. It's like they're really
Masters
janky.
Of the universe.
Yes. I'm looking forward to seeing the creatures and everything else that comes along with the Percy Jackson universe. I'm looking forward to seeing the world building that they're going to do. I can't wait. I really cannot wait.
What about you, Zach? We've totally been talking over you. We're just like,
No, you covered most of my points. The big thing for me.
So
is
here's the other thing about it. Oh, sorry, Zach. Go ahead.
Why don't you just step on my foot? Why don't you? Well, schmucks. Anyhow, the big thing that's got me excited for it is I do like that Rick Riordan. We're gonna have to get back on that again. Rick, please.
Big Rick.
The show. Love you. Anyhow,
Rick.
The big thing that has me excited is that he himself is excited for this project because I know that he has actually for a while been gunning for and actively working to get this adapted as a series, that he did want a do-over of this on film. And yeah, if he's totally on board with it, then I am 100% excited. That's a series I need to finish. I finished the spin-off series, the Magnus Chase ones, loved those. Started the Percy Jackson and love the books that I have read. I do also definitely agree that the movies, they are things that you watch and you leave and afterwards you're like, that was a movie, that was worth the price of admission, but it's just not gonna, they don't stick with you. They're not as fantastic, anywhere near as fantastic as the books.
I want to review them for the podcast this year before
that
the
would
show
be
comes
awesome.
out.
I'd be down.
I do think that there's because honestly I'll probably be the kindest to those movies because like I've watched them like 2 or 3 times each, like each one. Like I enjoy watching them just as
I like the movies for what they are, but I don't consider them Percy Jackson.
Yeah,
that's fair.
But it's called Percy Jackson. That's what it says on the poster. No, not BS. I will say one casting choice that I actually want them to carry over from the second movie is in the second movie, Chiron was played by Anthony Stewart Head. If they take one casting from the movies, have him play Chiron because it was Pierce Brosnan in the first movie, who I thought was fine. Yeah. But Anthony Stewart Head, like, it's a Giles-esque character. Like, let's be real. But like, he worked really. Yeah, but he worked so well in that role. I thought,
I didn't say I was complaining. I like Centaur Giles. It's just, it is Centaur Giles.
Centaur Giles.
Centaur Giles, yes. Definitely. Giles and Spike were my favorite characters from that show anyway, so,
Yeah.
Which is funny how much they hated each other.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
And son.
Ranty Giles? No.
Yeah, so I wonder if we could take a minute just to kind of just to acknowledge and talk about the actor Moses J Mosely. He is a Atlanta actor, like many of us here, and he passed away on January the 26th. They're investigating it right now, single gunshot in a car, and I just, I'm really sad because he worked on The Walking Dead, which I kind of feel a little bit of kinship for, because I know some people that have worked on it, and of course Sam was worked on that show for a couple years at least. And so I just wanted to kind of, remember him and send lots of virtual hugs to his family and loved ones, and just kind of remember his legacy. He has 2 movies coming out, 2 horror movies, one called Hank and one called Descending. So those will be coming out. So maybe we can kind of honor him by going and seeing those little gems. And besides Walking Dead, he appeared on Watchmen, the TV series, the show that was on, what was it, HBO Max?
Yeah, it was an HBO show, yeah.
So yeah, and I just, it's a sad thing whenever we lose one of our siblings
one of our own,
the acting world, and just wanted to say that we are thinking about him and thinking about everybody he left behind.
Yeah, I didn't know Moses personally, but I know people who knew him, and from everything I've heard, he seems like a really good dude and really talented. And yeah, I'll actually agree with that. Like, maybe we can take this opportunity to kind of check out some of his work as well, and
that would be
memory of
nice
him for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And they are investigating it as a possible suicide. Nothing has been determined yet, but so I just wanted to mention that if anybody is having any sort of a crisis or knows somebody who's having a crisis, there is help at the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline.
Sony is buying Bungie. Lots of gaming systems, lots of gaming proprieties being eaten up and consolidating. This is fascinating, I think. What are y'all's thoughts?
These kinds of deals are never short. They always have to. Before they're announced, they've been in the works for a while. I still can't help but feel that this announcement, especially since they added on a statement saying, "Oh, this isn't the only acquisition that we have coming. We're buying more stuff," is kind of a direct reply to the recent buyout of Activision by Microsoft, where, again, clearly they would have been working on this for a while, but it's hard not to see this as a direct response given the timing.
Yeah. Well, and it's also very possible to, like, I don't know how much insider information that they might have had even early on, that Microsoft was acquiring Activision. Maybe there was an inside thing that they knew about from months ago. It's like, so maybe it was genuinely a direct counter. So it's hard not to think that this isn't a direct response to Microsoft buying Activision, because we don't know, like, how long these deals were in the works. Like, it's true, Zach, we don't know how long these deals were in the works, but it's also very possible that Sony could have had some insider information that they're maybe acting on. That maybe they knew about the Microsoft Activision buyout for a lot longer than we did. But it's also very possible that it is just a coincidence and that both companies are just buying up whatever, quote-unquote smaller companies, although these are actually pretty big companies in and of themselves, that they can. It's interesting. It's not as big of a get, in my opinion, as Microsoft buying Activision. Because Activision has a lot of really huge franchises. Activision encompasses everything Blizzard as well. Warcraft, I don't know if they're planning on making any more StarCrafts or Diablos, but StarCraft and Diablo's on there too. And then Call of Duty, which is a massive fucking franchise that is owned by Activision.
That's true.
It's one of the highest grossing video game franchises, ever, is Call of Duty. And
that one until the heat death of the universe.
100%. I think there's a few other franchises. Bungie right now really just has Destiny. they're the original creators of Halo, but Halo is no longer a Bungie property. There's another, I think 343 Studios is the name of the studio that's making Halo right now, and Halo is still owned by Microsoft. The name brand Halo is still a Microsoft thing. So people are saying, "Oh, Sony's buying Bungie. Are we gonna start seeing Halo on PlayStation?" No, that's still a Microsoft franchise. It's just. Again, the only franchise that Bungie has right now really is Destiny. So I'm not really sure if they're planning on making anything else right now.
Did you know that Bungie started off as a game designer exclusively for the Macintosh?
Yes, actually, I did know that. And that was something that, because Halo was originally going to be
supposed to be for the Mac.
A Mac exclusive, but that was also
and then Microsoft came in and went.
Yeah, Microsoft swooped in, but that's the reason. That Halo Combat Evolved, the original Halo, is the only Halo to date that has gotten a Mac release, and it's because that kind of carried over. But all the other Halos that have come out since then have been really Xbox exclusives at first, and then they've kind of migrated over to PC as well. But it's really just Xbox and Windows. Yeah.
So another interesting thing I thought was kind of interesting was that you know, an offshoot of Bungie was Bungie West, who made Oni. If you remember Oni, that was
very much.
His dad was way into Oni.
Yeah,
and,
I played it too. Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you who owns Oni, and that is Take-Two, who have also recently, they're in the news because they just bought Zynga. So I didn't know if you heard that too. I know, right?
What the hell is Zynga?
Zynga is the well, all I know Zynga from is the apps, you know, the apps like on that you play on your phone and stuff like that. A lot of them are Zynga games. So I don't know what else they do, but I just thought that was kind of interesting. It kind of came full circle, and you know, here's another.
I mean, listen, are we gonna start? Are we gonna see Oni 2 all of a sudden? Because like no one's asking for that, but I'd be down. I'd be fucking down for Oni 2. Oni is awesome. That's a great game.
Yeah, you know, Dad would be down for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$3.6 billion is a lot of money to just get a few games for them, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure
I
they
hope
have
it's worth it.
plans. They have plans whether or not they'll come to fruition, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one slaps down that money and then says, "Well, I don't know. What do we do with that now?" It's not a garage sale. You're not going by a game company and be like, "Well, this studio looks kind of nice. I don't know if I can do anything with it, but $3.6 billion. All right, yeah, I can just do that. Yeah, I'll slap it down. And yeah, maybe I'll give it to someone if I can. Find a place to put it in my living room."
The penguins of Madagascar. Buy it and go. Well, this sucks. Our last topic for this week is Jurassic World Dominion. They have 2 new TV spots for the Winter Olympics, which one is just stunning, I would like to say, because it has my favorite dinosaur in it to begin with, the Parasaurolophus. The other reason is it's just gorgeous the way they kind of bring it all together. I was expecting some crash and some carnivore action at the end of that one, but it didn't happen. It was just nice. But the second one has Blue and the T-Rex. So, what did y'all think about Jurassic Park Dominion and the new TV spots?
So all I could think about was Clever Girl, you know, when the raptor came
Yes!
I expected her to get surrounded by raptors, and we were going to have a, oh shit moment.
Just get tackled from one end. She's looking at the raptor and then, Blue! Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
The only thing missing from it was raptors on skis chasing her. I think that would have...
Clever girl. I will say that I'm super excited about this one because they're bringing back the original stars from the original trilogy, Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum, and they're mashing them with the new stars. So let's see where we go with this. I cannot wait.
They need to do that because there's some Blandy McBlanderson stuff going.
I agree. I completely agree.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good. You're good. They're saying that this last one will finish off this trilogy, but it will not finish off the franchise. It's going to be left open so that we get more Jurassic Parks.
Of course.
Yay.
Naturally.
So I'll go and say, as far as Jurassic World goes, I'm kind of with you, Mom, in that none of the sequels to Jurassic Park have really left that much of an impression on me. I actually agree. I think the only really good Jurassic Park movie is Jurassic Park. I know we're going to review them this year for the podcast, so we'll see if I change my mind on any of them. I go back and forth. I thought Jurassic World 1 was watchable. I actually was of the opinion when I first watched it that Jurassic World 2, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, was probably my second favorite after the original. And I still probably... I need to watch it again. It's one of those movies I need to watch it again. I found that one at least went into some more interesting directions than a lot of the other sequels. And I appreciated where that one kind of went. Excuse me.
No.
And I love the fact that that the movie does end... The dinosaurs are just in the world now. It's like they've all escaped. Now we're just living in a world with dinosaurs. Like, it really is Jurassic World now, which is kind of the point. But I think that's a really interesting kind of situation that we end up in for the third one. I also agree with you, Troy. The main thing that I'm excited about is that we are getting the original characters back. We are getting Grant and Sattler and Ian Malcolm back as characters for the new one. And because, like, I do think that Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard are fine. With Bryce Dallas Howard, like, I think she's a good actress. I just don't think that the movies really served her well.
Not at all, no.
And but these characters, like, I don't feel anything about these characters the way I do about Grant and Sattler and Malcolm. Yep. And, like, those are the characters who I want to see. I know that this new one's going to have everybody, though. It's going to have the new characters and the old characters. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see them kind of play off of each other. So I'm actually pretty, even though I wasn't really super impressed with the first two movies, I'm cautiously optimistic about this new one. I think it could actually end up being really good.
Yeah, I'm excited about it because it's no holds bar. They're not held back by fences, and my favorite two is Jurassic Park and The Lost World. I was sad as a teenager that The Lost World was so different than Michael Crichton's book, but I'm also still excited that the two books he wrote, they're still taking the concepts from those two books and still making new things from it. They haven't ventured away from anything that he wrote in the books. Even the genetically engineering thing, he had a subplot of that in both of the books, of the genetic engineering wars and using them for weapons and stuff. So I'm excited to see where it goes, and I'm excited because it ends the trilogy, but it doesn't end the franchise. I want to see someone else get their hands on it.
You know what I want a movie based off of? Do you remember that video game where you play as a raptor with a jetpack and like a couple like missile things on the jetpack, and you're just like going through, and you're just like, but you're like in the Jurassic era, and you're just this raptor spread around like just jetpacking and just shooting T-Rexes with missiles. I want to see a movie based on that. That's what I want to see.
Did it steal like a time traveler's jetpack or something?
I don't think the game had a storyline. I think it just gave you the situation. You're just a raptor. You're in, like I think it's just
dinosaurs
one of those
and explosives.
Games. Yeah. I think it's just one of those games that somebody made just like it was like a borderline tech demo. It almost isn't even a real game, but it was super fun to play.
You know, should make that movie. Michael Bay.
Yes,
Michael
100%. Yeah, I agree.
Dinosaurs and explosions. Michael Bay's like, son of a bitch, I'm in.
All right, we're going to put a real character in, but I just had the Velociraptor as a placeholder. We'll place him later. And the investor said, don't you dare replace him.
I kind of suspect that's what happened, honestly.
Yeah. We can make it any character you want. No, I want the Velociraptor.
Well, what's the story? Right. No story. No.
We don't need that.
Who needs a story? Velociraptors with missiles, mercenaries. All right, I think that's this week's show. How about that? It's nice and short and clean.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us for Nerd Shit News. If you look into the comments, you will see a link to the podcast for Nerd Shit, which is our podcast. You can find it anywhere you enjoy hearing your podcast. I would suggest downloading it, going on that link, downloading it, listening to it, and chortling with everything we say.
Yeah.
And arguing and yelling in the air. That's what I do. What are you talking about?
Yes.
Please DM us. Please yell at us. Tell us what we did wrong, and we'll just laugh at you.
Why?
I come up with some of the dumbest shit to say just to say it. That's why it's called nerd shit. Thank you all for attending. We will see you next time.
Yay.
All right.
Check you out.
Do you have a memory problem?
He doesn't know because he can't remember.